basically asks the question, what if, like, what if Loki was the god of thunder, or what if Black Panther was Star Lord, or Peggy Carter was Captain Carter instead of Captain America, just like random stuff like that. Yeah, so
That's
it's
kind of cool.
yeah, it's fun, and it's a cartoon, so obviously they can just do like whatever they want.
Yeah, I like it.
But it's a good time. The last one I watched was really cool.
Marsh and I are just starting to watch Civil War.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that movie's so good.
So he's been getting, right as soon as I said Captain America doesn't do anything for me,
Yeah.
Marshall fucking loves him. It's like, cool. All right. It's all right.
The new
I'm
one's
coming I'm coming around.
fair. Yeah, he's just a good character. I get he's like can be lame and stuff because that's kind of his thing in a way, but
Sure.
just throughout the whole story arc, I just like him more and more.
Yeah.
He's probably not in my top favorite characters, but I like him a lot. You know what I mean? I still like it's Cap.
Off the dome, who's your top three? We'll just do three.
Thor, Star Lord, Black Panther, but Spider Man. But I feel like I almost take Spider Man off the board, but which isn't fair. But that's just like how I mean it's Spider Man.
I don't he doesn't really to me fit in like the Marvel universe almost.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, he just doesn't seem like a feature guy in a lot of them. And
Well,
then and I'm not an expert on the Marvel universe either, so I'll preface that. But I don't know, it just seems like we were watching some of the other ones and it's just like he's kind of like a kid just in there. Like
hmm
I like the Spider-Man where he's like fucking Spider-Man.
yeah,
Not like the little kid who's fucking around.
and yeah, like there was nothing you said was like a hot take or anything.
Okay.
And the reason why I feel like he fits weird is for the longest time, Sony had all the rights to Spider Man, so he wasn't even allowed to be in the MCU until Civil War. And then at
Mm,
that point, it's like, well, we've kind of done like the classic origin story, and then we did it again. So they went like the lean into high school route. It fits, give him some tech, and now I feel like in Spider-Man 4. Because have you seen like the third one, the newest one?
what's that actor's name?
Tom Holland.
Yeah. I think I just saw the
Okay.
second one. I don't think I've seen the third one.
Oh, you should. The third one's really good. Like it's a
Yeah.
really fun time. Yeah.
What is the third one?
It's got Doctor Strange, and he basically like opens up the multiverse accidentally, and
I don't think I have.
yo, you should. Yeah, yo, you should watch it. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
big deal.
I will say I like all the Spider-Mans, but like the Batman, right? It's
Oh
like a
yeah.
whole thing. Or like James Bond.
Mhm.
It's not my James Bond. It's
No,
not my Spider-Man. So but I thought all of them were done well.
yeah.
You know? It's how do you feel about that? Like the kind of the remakes of everything.
Well, I'd say if we're just going off comics, that's kind of what comics have done forever. There's so many just different variations in storyline and runs of characters that you can literally pick infinite. Like you could redo Spider-Man like every time.
Yeah.
Can basically do that with every character.
Yeah.
Cause like in Across the Spider Verse, how you see all like the Spider Man.
Yeah.
Those are like from like weird comics and shit.
Oh, okay.
So there's essentially infinite stories of different, like issue one, issue 35. In this one, Spider Man's bad. In this one, he gets killed by whatever. And there's like some really just weird
Okay,
ones. So
that makes more sense now.
yeah, sorry,
Because
I'm getting in the
it
weeds
just
about.
no, it just seemed like it was a lot of Spider-Mans in like a short amount of time. You know?
Yeah, yeah, they did do that. From the Raimi ones, I think that ended in like 2009 or eight, and then the Garfield one was like 2012 or something.
Yeah. But I mean, they're all good. They're all good.
But I definitely, yeah, it's interest. I mean, I guess I don't really care that much, but it's, I don't know. Like with Batman, my favorite are still the Christopher Nolan's, but with those, I'll even argue those aren't really superhero films the way that Nolan did it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's more even like a just a spy just thing. Well, not spy thing, but it's just such a different thing. And then the newest one is just like a straight up like noir film, that like
Hmm.
3 hour like spy movie, I think. So yeah, I feel there's so many stories to tell that until it feels like they're literally just doing the same like story or something over and over and over. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't really mind.
Do they have a decent lineup of movies coming out?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's going to be a 2018 type run of Phase Three with these next movie.
Give me the highlights of 2018.
Well, I don't know the let me do like Phase Three. Phase Three highlights 2018 ish, but it's Civil War, Spider Man Homecoming, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Thor Ragnarok, Captain Marvel, Infinity War, Endgame.
That's pretty good. I haven't seen the Doctor Strange ones really.
They're fun. I like
So
them.
I'm gonna jump into that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, obviously, they got some crazy visuals because I mean, it's Doctor Strange.
Sure.
Tilda Swinton, I think that's how you say your name, in the first one, and she's just great. And
Yeah.
Cumberbatch, like he's always good.
How's
Rachel
the
McAdams.
Loki ones? Because I've never gotten into him as a character really, but I wouldn't say I've given him like a full chance. It's just kind of been in the Avengers
Mm-hmm.
series. But how's his solo movie? Is it a show or is it a movie?
It's a show.
Show, yeah. How is that?
They were good. Like they were like just critically and like well received. But then they were also just very well done. Like Loki is probably my first or second favorite of the shows that they've done so far.
Nice.
And Loki season two was like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they yeah.
Are you Star Wars guy too?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not like I'm mostly just like a movies guy. I watch some of the shows. Like I watched The Mandalorian. I watched the Book of Boba Fett. I want to watch him Andor. I heard Andor is good.
Yeah. I haven't got too much into the new stuff, but back when we were kids, I loved the originals.
Hmm.
And then I've enjoyed some of the ones I've seen, but I haven't really like followed up. But every time I go on Disney, I feel like there's a new Star Wars like spin-off series or something that's coming out.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of shows. Like there was like the Acolyte or something, and then there's like the
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew,
It's
yeah.
just Yeah, it's just it's cool, but it just doesn't get me past like the movies. Like I mostly just like the main storyline. And I
Yeah.
remember The Force Awakens, I thought was really good. And I remember watching the trailer for that at, I think it was at Alex Lovelace's house in Weston's, maybe. And we went over there for a party, me and Brandon, and they were like, "There's no," and a canoe lived there too. And they were like, "There's a new Star Wars movie coming out." I'm like, "What?" And then we watched the trailer, and it was like it was like really good. Yeah, I still watch that trailer from time to time because it smacks. And then yeah, the next two just
Yeah,
didn't really just
dude, it's and watching them now, trying to get somebody who didn't watch them as a kid to watch those movies now is like impossible. They're like, this is terrible.
yeah it sucks that happened.
I know, I know,
Yeah,
but it's funny. It's funny. All right, so I think I texted you this last week, maybe, and then I saw you posted about it. Mac Miller's new Death album, Lunarism. Have you listened to it? I've listened to it twice.
yeah.
Could have done without it.
Hmm?
Could
Oh
have
yeah.
done without it. I don't know. Like you read some of the stuff online, and people are, like they get super into the like. This paints the picture of how his mind was when he was at the end of his. And it's like, yeah, fucking probably, but I don't need to
Yeah.
hear it. So I wanted to get your take on Death albums, and then I'll give you kind of like my general thoughts around them.
That's a good one. My take on death albums. I feel like I don't really listen to them that much. Like I know Hendrix had one or maybe some more that I haven't listened to. Yeah, I just don't. It just doesn't feel like it's them.
It's not.
It doesn't have like their final look or like stamp of approval on it. So it's not the same thing. It'd be like if you went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, and he cooked like a little bit of the food, but not the whole thing, and then other people finished it up. Like I don't want that. I want
Yeah,
I want
he's
the
just
whole thing.
he's just giving you the menu, and then someone else is like, "This is what he wanted to create." The fuck is that?
Yeah, and I don't um complain about like capitalism like much, but this is an example to me where I'm like, it's just kind of gross. I get it. He has music, or maybe it's not a capitalism thing, or just like a money thing. But it's just like,
Why?
yeah,
Why?
it's just like, or if there was anything, like just literally have like, if there was like 1 minute like partial clips of songs, even just release those, just unedited like as they were. But in my opinion, but
Yes. So my thought process kind of like, all right, if they were in the middle of finishing an album where it's close, like, hey, this was a project they were working on at the end. Maybe like their close friends and family were like they were really excited about finishing it. Sure, like I'll listen to that, right? Like Circles came out, I was cool with that. But now it just is like, and they've continued to release different tracks and stuff too. I'm like, just give it some time to breathe, right? If you come back 10 years, 15 years after his death, as like you said, right? Like we are releasing a collection of songs that he was working on, right? In whatever state they were kind of in. That would be fucking cool. But just releasing like I don't know, it seems weird.
yeah,
And then to me, it doesn't really feel like he had much say in it. It was like these are all of his B-sides that we just decided to put in an album. If he released Circles right away, and that was supposed to be like his next album, right?
yeah,
He probably wasn't working on his next album it prior to that album.
Mhm,
And
yeah,
then you're also like naming it, and they've created a video, like a movie to go along with it.
really. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Circles made sense. Circles didn't make me feel like a type of way. I just didn't really want to listen to it. I was just kind of just like bummed out, but not for any reason. I just hadn't. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
sure.
But it didn't feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's always cool, I think, after a while to
Hmm.
get new music. Like, just what other stuff were they working on? What creative stuff, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be a polished album or anything like that. I think that's awesome. But this feels very like put together. It's a production, it just seemed inauthentic almost.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for it too much, but I was like, I'm gonna go into it open minded. I feel like I need to listen to it, and it just didn't do anything for me. You know,
Yes.
I'm sure there's people that'll like it, but I didn't.
Oh yeah, yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that there's people that like just don't care. I mean, not that like they should or shouldn't
You
care.
back Miller?
Right, right. I wish I didn't care. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, there's two new albums I'm about to smash on.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, if you listen to it, great. But I think there's other stuff that you should check out. What did you think of Bourne's new album? Have you listened to that?
I did. I probably could have done without it.
I wonder if I built up too much hype because I've been listening to dopamine a ton since our last podcast.
Yeah, that's how you know the new album's not smack when you're like, oh, but this stuff. It's probably my. I think I like his other albums more than this album. Even his Suddenly EP.
Yeah, so it was funny. So I drove up to Breck today. I had a site visit up in, or not Breck, up in Frisco. And so I was think Matt asked in our group text, "Hey, have you guys heard of this album or whatever?" I'm not sure how it came up. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, did you not listen to our podcast?" And so then I started listening to the podcast. Turns out Matt listened to the whole podcast too. And then he put together his top 5 albums from that area this afternoon and sent it to us.
Like a few hours ago,
Huh?
he texted me a few hours ago his list of albums.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, it was just funny going back through kind of all the stuff we were talking about and that. And I think we mentioned in there, it's hard when you have an artist with like 1 or 2 albums that you really love. And even if they release okay albums, it's like that's not the one I'm going back to.
Oh.
Like it could have been a good album, but I'm not. If I'm gonna listen to Borns, I'm gonna go listen to the other ones.
Right. Yeah, and now it's nice because you still have the other ones, and I think there's maybe two songs on the new album where I like them. Like, oh yeah, like add this, but the other
Yeah,
one's fine. So now I have two newborn songs, so that's cool.
yeah,
And I'm sure some songs will grow on me too.
sure. I thought it was good. I mean, I was listening to it when I was driving, and then I just had it on when I was working, and it was nice to listen to while you're working. Just kind of let it play.
Mhm.
And it wasn't anything crazy. It didn't like divert my attention to like, whoa, this is fucking good, you
Mhm.
know? But it was nice. It was nice. So
I was thinking though, let's say I had a bunch of, well, is it just music? So let's say he was like a photographer and he died, and you released the pictures different, right?
I would say it depends on the photographer. Like, are you wanting unedited just photos? Because that's generally not as cool. Like, I feel like a lot of photographers have their style of editing.
Hmm.
And if you could pull their same style of editing and they were consistent, I think it would be okay.
Yeah, cause I was just thinking that I was like, Well, with photos, it might be different, or poetry. Like if it was all like written down, like poems, because they're well. But then I guess it is the
Well, there's a book, maybe you've heard of it, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius,
yeah.
like Roman emperor way back in the day, right? And it was,
Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah. Continue. I think I have that book.
I need to get that book. I've been meaning to read it, but I think if you had it in that style where it was basically just his journal entries, right? And then they just made that into a book, right? They didn't take like a story he had written out with a rough plot and
Yeah.
then formulate it into a book, right?
Yep. It's true.
So I think if you did it that way, like a final works or a collective like works thing, I think it could be really cool if you did it in like an artsy way. But eh, I don't know. It just gets weird. Same thing like an artist, right? If they're working on a painting and it's mostly done, but are artists ever truly done with a lot of their stuff?
I
I don't know.
I feel like it would also feel like it would be cooler to have like a 80% finished painting from someone who like died or something.
A famous painter who was almost finished with what they thought maybe was their best work right before they die, like I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be super valuable.
Yeah, and just like the possibility of the thing, like oh, and almost like more sad in a way, and just yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, not that they died, but
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, of
of
course.
course, right? Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. Oh man, since we're on the music subject, you've been working with Sean a little bit.
Uh,
Dude, that's been crazy.
but yeah, yeah, but we still are planning on getting back into that. I'm recording with Maddie on Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna talk some lashes, and then
Ooh,
I've been talking to Terrence and Amo, and just getting some things lined up.
heck yeah.
Yeah, I want some drone stuff, so I'm gonna get that up and going.
Have you played with it much?
Nope, still too cold. I'm going to tomorrow.
Is it too cold for the drone or for you?
Technically the drone says don't use under like 20 or some shit.
Uh,
So it's
bless.
I mean like it's or maybe it's 30. There has been days where I could have gone out, but it just hasn't been ideal at all.
Yeah.
But it's like a good anxious because I'm like excited to use it and like let's go, like I'm fucking like I'm ready.
Yeah.
Just like, but it'll be good. It's been fun just connecting with people, just looking at different businesses around Iowa City and just like around the towns and shit, and just seeing what people are up to.
Yeah, man. I didn't think I would enjoy kind of connecting with some other business owners and engineers and people around, but I've actually been enjoying it a lot. Been trying to do one either a lunch or grab some beers with at least one person I know, like a client or another engineer or just a friend, like during the week. And then I've been trying to do a new person.
Dude,
Maybe it's somebody I've talked to once or twice, but they're not really a steady client, um, or they're not an engineer that I've really spoken with before. And LinkedIn's actually helped with that a lot. I hit up a guy who has a firm. He might have one or two more engineers than I do
hmm.
down in Denver area, but it seems like they do the same type of projects I do. He's a younger guy. Um,
But yeah,
he's, residential world, small commercial, same stuff I'm doing. So I just hit him up out of the blue and basically said, "Hey, it looks like we're doing kind of the same kind of stuff. I'd love to pick your brain on how you got started and if there's, every once in a while we'll get calls from people down in that area. that have additions, remodels, inspections, and I'd love a good contact to send. And he hit me back and said, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's grab lunch sometime." So we need to set up a date, but it's just been fun. Thursday, yesterday, I had lunch. Uh, I did the engineering on this guy's house and his shop, and he owns a heating and plumbing company. Um, he's 37. He runs it with his brother, who's like 2 years older than him.
Hmm.
They took It was just the two brothers, an office manager, and their dad. Their dad had it for a long time, and then they've basically taken it. Now they've got like 35, 40 people and are growing it. And so it was good to just sit down and chat with him, get some advice, see kind of what he's seeing on his side of things. It's just been fun. I put so much pressure on it before. Like, oh, it's weird. Like, what do I talk about? What do I say? It's like just have a fucking normal conversation, ask questions, be curious. Just made it a lot easier. It's been really fun, starting to get into the LinkedIn stuff more, commenting on people's posts, liking, resharing. I haven't done a ton of my own posts yet, but I've got another one I'm gonna try to get out tomorrow. So it's just been kind of fun to build that side of things. But like you said, man, we've been crazy busy.
To jump in quick on the networking stuff. I think with today, yeah, I came across a page on the IG that doing kind of the same thing, just like highlighting businesses, and it seems
Hmm.
like it's all video, and it's some chick who knows a Sully. And I didn't know that until like I messaged her and was like, "Hey, I like your profile. It's cool what you're doing. I grew up in IC, so it's awesome whenever people are just trying to help it like grow. I know some people who own businesses, so if you're ever looking for people to work with, I might be able to help. Just let me know." And she messaged back. It seemed like it was like cool from the little text, but I haven't read it yet. But I was thinking how maybe 3 or 4 years ago, for even 1 year ago, if I were to see somebody else doing something that's like the same ish that I'm doing, I would have been like, "Oh fuck!" Like there's too many people, like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, we're both different, so that's like all already its own just variable there. So no matter what, it's going to be a different vibe, a different style, and there can be multiple the same thing. Like
Yeah. And it,
Donald Wendy's fast food down Patrick Show, Rashad Show, and you can actually work together too.
there's nothing wrong with being quote unquote friends with your competitors, right? Yeah, there's the understanding we're competing, but we're also here to lift up the whole industry. And so what you just touched on is huge. I was the same thing, right? I'm just starting out, and there's a guy who's probably, I don't know, he's probably 6 or 7 years older than me, who went out, started his own business, not even in my same space. And I was still just like, he's hiring somebody, but like I already had a guy. But for whatever reason, just because our employees are the same, I'm like, I feel like I'm behind, you know? Or like, oh, he's beating me. Like I want to get it. And it's not like that at all. We can lift up our whole industry. There's a ton of work to go around. And the other thing off of that too is like if you just enjoy what you're doing, that'll come through in a lot of what you do. Business is hard, so to continuously like provide the service like for you, put out content, do interviews, all that kind of stuff. If you're consistently working at it every day for 3 or 4 years, chances are, let's say you've got 10 other people that are competing for the same thing. After those 3 or 4 years, you're probably only really competing with maybe one or two other people, you
Right?
know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we're not. I don't even think that we're competing at all.
The competition's good. It's not even like competing, you know what I mean? It's like a we're here to both push and grow each other. It's not a like I'm not gonna tell this person about that because I want to take all of this. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not that, but it's like
It's
you're competitors in that sense, but you're not. There's no negativity to it. It's I want to grow, I want to win because I provide such a good level of service, not because I'm tearing down or manipulating things or like throwing shade on anybody else, right? Like I
Mhm.
want them to be like right below me, right? Just right below me, right? That's the goal. And you're always going to have people that are ahead of you too. And what can you learn, right? If if they're out there doing it, what are they seeing? What are they learning from, right? Take their information and see how you can do it. Give them information, and more times than not, they're going to reciprocate it back.
yeah. Like I'm planning on doing an interview with her sometime about just like what she's been up to and just like what's working, what's not. And yeah, there's just so many different angles too where yeah, yeah, there's ways that we could help each other out or collab on like one thing at some point, you know what I mean?
And you never
And
know. Down the road, you guys could be doing very similar paths and be really aligned and realize, hey, we'd be better off teaming up, like partnering and
Mhm.
doing it all collectively, right? And if you burn that bridge early, you're going to be fighting that battle the whole time, you know?
Yeah, I
So,
was before I sent the message. I was thinking like, should I should go like, I mean, I was never thinking about be going like negative for anything.
nah,
I almost just like said nothing, but then I was like, no, let's follow like message and just see if we'll just merge and be allies. And it seemed like that was the move.
almost always going to be the move.
And it's such a dumb thing to think like we're so what we're both gonna take over the whole market. Like we're gonna get the like that doesn't even make sense.
You, you're, you're not going to, if you have 200,000 people that you're trying to grab the attention of in the area, you're never going to get all 200,000 of those people. Like they're just not going to, not everybody's going to jive with you,
Yeah,
right?
and if we do get in sorry
No, you're good.
do get in a situation where it's us two battling over like the attention of the city, we're both doing incredibly well.
1,000%. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
It's like you know what I mean, like that's just like that, and so it's even dumb to like worry about problems you have about crazy success when you haven't even like started. You know, like you know what I mean. It's being like, oh,
That's,
what if I have to pay so much in taxes?
yeah, that's,
Like, don't even. That's stupid.
I've met business owners like that. That's a perfect example where it's like, oh, I don't want to do this because like we'll have to pay taxes on that money. I'm like, who the fuck cares? Like, you're not gonna bring in more money, or you're gonna spend more money unnecessarily just to save money in taxes. Like the numbers don't work out. Like, get over it. You know, it's no, it's cool. That I mean, that's almost always gonna be the route to go. Plus, it's way more fucking fun and enjoyable to not every single time you see somebody who's kind of doing the same thing as you beat yourself up. You think, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have it. Like they're already doing it. Why am I even trying? It's like, well, do you enjoy it? Yeah, just fucking keep going.
Yeah,
Like
and
if you stay in it, you will be fine. And if you enjoy it the whole time, who cares?
yeah, yeah. Some people flash. I forget that you are the biggest variable. Like during the day, there's the Dan Patrick Show. That's a talk show. a sports show, like duh, and then there's The Herd, that's also a sports talk show. There's Cavino and Rich, that's also a sports talk show. And
McAfee.
yeah, there's McAfee, there's First Take, there's Unlimited, and they all talk about the same things, but the thing that make different is the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, cause she's also doing, I think, either like some tanning thing. I'm not gonna get into that market. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just yeah. There's no reason to really ever think that someone else is taking your business, because they're just not. Unless like they literally like do, but like they're not. You know what I mean?
Well, and you're kind of building, we had this in an early podcast, right? Becoming a local expert, right?
Oh,
The go-to
all
guy.
about.
And so when you're networking, even with so-called competitors or others in your field, a shit ton of the work I have right now is from other engineers that refer me, right? Like, because they like me, they understand what I do, they know my process, the quality of work, and they know that one, I really appreciate them sending it. And if I was constantly looking at everybody as like a competitor that I need to beat and I'm not going to help them out, I'm not going to take their calls, I'm not going to go get lunch with them, I'm not going to ask them how they're doing, you know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
never going to get those referrals, right? There's so, you think there's a finite amount of work out there and you'll never, your goal is to get all of it, right?
hmm
Just in your head, it's like, man, I want to be the only person that people work with for high-end custom homes. That's not feasible. I wouldn't be able to do it all, you know? And it's like you start to realize that the more you're in it and you stop having this like scarcity mindset around I need to get every job. I need to take every job. And it's like that it's not always the right fit. Same thing with employees. You think that if you have an employee and if you lose them, your business is going to fall apart and they're going to think bad about you. It's like more times than not, if the employee is not the right fit for you, your business will be better off with them gone, and they're usually better off at a different place too, right? You build up all these worries in your own head, and I do it all of the fucking time. And then you just have to like, all right, I'm doing it again. Stop doing it. You know? It just takes practice and time, and and that's where I'm at right now. The first hire for me was easy. The second one is hard. It's like, well, what if what if I sell them to like come into the business and then we don't, it's not exactly what they wanted, or what if the market slows down a little bit and then like I can't fill their time and all this. It's like, well, you can think about all the negatives of it, or you can say, what if the market's going good? What if this person allows me to meet more people, spend more time doing
Mhm.
this, and now I can bring in more business? We can actually focus on more of the projects we want to work on and build those relationships. And it opens way more doors than you try to put up in front of it, you know? So it's hard though. It's scary, but it's part of it.
It's so hard. Like me and Katrina talk about it a lot, and yeah. So, do you think it's because? Well, I think it's because our brains are so old. We're still going back to, you always think about danger first because you don't want to die.
I was just gonna say it's inherently like a survival mechanism, I think, built into us. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna get like into it because like I feel like I've talked about that before, but
Hmm.
that's why I'll watch like a Gary V clip or listen to a podcast about my mindset that literally every day at the beginning of the day, so I keep the momentum.
There is a certain, this is what people struggle with when they're going out on a limb and building their own thing, right? You're doing it the exact same way, right? Like yes, you guys might not have a true LLC set up for your IC business stuff. You should get one.
Yeah.
Um, eventually, right? You are constantly worried about when you don't have the money, you're scared that you're not going to be good enough. You're not going to make it. What if we're slow? If we run out of money? And all this fear keeps you going forward. And what people don't realize is that that fear should never really go away,
Mm.
right? In order to keep growing and progressing, like you should always have that a little bit of fear to keep pushing you forward. And some people don't want to fucking deal with that. They like the comfort
No.
zone, they just, and it's hard. I get it because, I was on site today with a contractor who's building up his business up in Summit County, and he's starting to take on big projects like this one we're working on. He's basically going to pay me $2,500 for like 2 site visits to come up and help him talk through how he needs to support the structure. We've got a 3-story structure that's basically coming down on one post, and we're taking away the main level, and we're trying to figure out how do we support all of the structure above so we can put in a new beam that goes right down the middle, right? And so it's the
Mhm.
logistics around it. And he's like, I've never done anything like this before. The last thing I need is for these people's $3 million home to come crashing down onto their main level, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like terrified. He's like, dude, I'm losing sleep. I need you to come help me with this. And he's like, sometimes we had the conversation today. Sometimes it's like, do I even want to take on this project? Do I even want to do it? Right? I've never done it before. It's like, well, where are you trying to go? Are you trying to get into bigger and better stuff and grow? You kind of got to just fucking figure it out sometimes. And you're doing the right thing, right? You're not trying to like skimp on money. You're paying people, other subs that know what they're doing to help you. And there's days where you start to question if it's worth it or not.
Oh yeah.
And then you just got to tuck that shit way down,
Yeah.
keep on going. But yeah, it's fun. I like it, but not everybody's cut out for it. And we talked about it a little bit, I think, before on being an entrepreneur, right?
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
don't want to have that sole weight on your shoulders, right? You can still take a lot of these same entrepreneur type skills and apply them to whatever business you're in, but
Oh
yet
yeah.
you can do it under the umbrella of somebody else, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to know yourself.
If Marvel called and offered me the number 20 position, I would take it right now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
As you should.
yeah, I'm sure the number like you know what I mean. I'm sure they're making a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because there's probably there's some stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, just those type of things. Like sometimes it's like, oh yeah. And just another thing. This is off topic, but me and Tyler went to the Iowa basketball game. They have
Hmm.
tickets with their business partner, and they have a second row seats, which was like sick, like really cool. And the
Nice.
guy in front of us is like a big donor,
Oh, okay.
and it just got me so the whole game I was just thinking of business stuff and networking. Like I should have bought my business card, and it was just cool being down there too. Because I asked this one lady what she did, and she was like the operations manager of like the game. So
Mm.
she was always just like walking around, just seeing what was going on. The Towel boys, they're like an intense like team. It's just wild how like you'll see the name like this is blankety blank's hall that they donated to the college, and then you see them, and it's like, oh, like if I was trying to raise capital or some shit, I could be like, oh hey, how about this game, and then blah blah blah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You just see things differently.
Oh, for sure. You start putting yourself in different circles and different areas, and then you combine that with having a business, you really do start like thinking and looking at things differently, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm sure Ash gets annoyed because I talk about business most of the fucking time. But it's enjoyable. It's fun to think about and talk about and work through, you know? So, no, it's cool. I'm digging it.
Yeah, yeah. So just that was just really like, ooh, just motivating and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But going back to getting out of your own way. Yeah, just practicing saying I just really don't care. I'm going to do this. Once you get like the muscles going of just feeling that way all the time, it's amazing because it's just so freeing.
Oh, it is for sure. And it gets easier the more you do it, right?
Hmm.
It's just like anything. You are trying to go on a diet. If you've been eating a bunch of shit and sugars and all of that, like it's hard to say no to things when you first start, right? And then it just gets easier. You end up not even really thinking about it. Yeah, you may still have some desserts or whatever every now and again, but you're not really seeking them out. You're not, if they're there, but you don't really want them, you're not eating them,
Hmm.
you know? So,
Yeah, um
can
and
you
what?
can you hear Marshall crying? Okay.
No, not at all. But if you need to go check on him, no stress. I'll just
I think
riff.
Ash got up and went down there, so we'll see. That's the fatherhood component of
Yeah, that's
uh,
part of the game. We're doing it live, baby. But
yeah.
in like around Sep during the summer, I feel like I was playing too much Xbox. Like before we started the podcast, and then like kind of around the first months too, to where I was just thinking about it a lot. Like I'm gonna go home, get everything ready for work, and then go play Madden, or go play FIFA. And I would just think about that. And then within like these last 2 months, I haven't been given much at all. Like some weekends a little bit, but now I'm in the habit of thinking about like creating content and networking. And I was trying to think if I could get myself into the habit of like wanting to do like side hustle stuff and working. And I think you can do that. I think you can trick yourself into good habits too. But with a long-winded
Yeah,
speech.
and it's much easier when you enjoy it too, for
Mm.
sure. All right, I gotta go check on Marsh. Seems like things are not going well.
All
I'll
right,
pop
bro.
back in.
All right, cool,
Hang
cool.
tight. He's got a nasty little cold, and he's his room is right below my office,
Oh yeah.
so he's not sleeping great, anyways. But, anyways,
Katrina had the cold too. Like she's sick right now.
sucks.
Yeah, it's rough. Oh, also, Brock wants to record with us sometime too.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm actually slacking. I need to text him. Cause I messaged him on the demo tapes, like DMs, and I'll just forget to check it. But I'm about to text him soon.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, just catch up, just see what's up. You got a little guy, a girl, guy, boy. I can't remember, but he got a kid.
They have, I think they got two.
I,
Do they have two?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out.
But while I was down there, I was thinking about it. Like your comment on like video games versus now you're not doing them. And it goes back to when you recorded with Sully, you can make the time, right? So like
Mm.
people are like, I don't have the time for this or time for this. Like you're not making the time, right? Like I've probably played video games. I can count them on one hand in the last 4 or 5 years. Like where
Mhm.
I sat down and played video games. I still enjoy video games, but I enjoy the other stuff more, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've got the business side of things, thinking about it. I'm reading and learning, family. Like there's way too much other stuff that I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna play video games, I'm sacrificing sleep or the business. And then sleep is gonna affect business and family, potentially, you know? So yeah, and it's but if you're enjoying it, it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah. And it's mostly because it got you to the point where I would I wasn't enjoying it because I would feel like bad when I was playing because I knew that there was something else that I should be doing. There wanted to be doing more.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's there's times though where it's like some people watch Netflix, some people do whatever, and it's like I'm I've been working hard. I'm just like my brain's kind of fried. I'm not processing things like I want. Play video games. Just get
Mm.
your mind off it for like for me, I don't do it as much as I want to or I should, but like going to a movie theater. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
movie theaters and airplanes are like the two places I can just fucking tune out
Mm.
everything. And I love it.
Yeah. So nice.
Dude, airplanes are like the only place I can take naps.
Oh yeah,
Like
I love it because I can do like just weird stuff on my phone, like go through all my photos or delete emails or just all that stuff. Just want to be doing.
I like try to do some of that kind of stuff and then I just end up like sitting there
Mm.
and then I nod off every single time.
Yeah. But what were you just saying? Oh, about gaming. Yes, and the last time I did take like a video thing, and I'm either going to make it like a time lapse or do some quote about like work life balance, like that type of thing. So that's
Mm-hmm.
fun. And then I do want to get into streaming somehow, some way this year. Just
Just
for
fucking do it.
yeah. Um, and going live's been fun too. I've been doing that a few times, but I want to keep.
I haven't caught any of those. How are those going?
Um, good. I think I've done like a two nights. One with like a 10 minutes long, and then the other one was like 5. And I think like 2 people got on at one point. Well, I mean they were also at like midnight, but yeah. But it was fun, and you feel it. It's a different thing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
I'd be fucking nervous.
yeah, so I just want to keep doing it until I don't even think about it. And I've been watching more just live videos on TikTok and what's not WhatsApp. But yeah, just live stuff. I think I want to do like a live um like listen or something. I want to listen to like Sean's or Ion's album and
Mm,
play it and just be working on stuff. And I saw Gary V's been doing just like a live muted video of him in his office for like an hour of him just working, and that's just a
I
thing. So it
I
just
think
got
I
my
saw
head
that.
just being like, okay, so you could just do like notes and music or just literally nothing, but lives becoming a bigger, just a big thing. So
I I should do that at our office.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, it'd be
the
cool just for especially just to see like in a business. I'd be like, what's this? That, like, you know what I mean? I'd be, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah,
Just because I've never seen it before, you know what I mean? From like a smaller business per se. They're even a big.
yeah, yeah. It varies a lot too, and that's where it's like being consistent with it can you start to get all the elements that go into it, right? I could stream for 4 hours and it'd just be me at my fucking desk the entire time. Like I'm not lifting my head up hardly at all. And
Yeah.
then there's days where it's like I could stream for 2 hours and it would be a little bit of work, 6 to 8 phone calls that come in. Jacob's asking questions on projects. I'm reviewing stuff, getting him outlined on different projects, coordinating with the drafters. It's like, just depends on when you hit the live button, I guess.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, no, that's cool. That's a good idea. I should start doing some more of that too.
Yeah. I want to do some too. I mean, it'd be cool to do some of my work in the warehouse. I'm not sure how it would all work just with everything, but it'd be fun. Or
Yeah,
so maybe even like someday when I load my truck or some shit.
yeah.
Yeah, make some of those kid videos of just unloading trucks using the lift gate or some shit. Lift
Mm-hmm.
gate. Yeah.
Yeah. um, I don't. We've already been going for a decent amount, so I don't know if we want to get into this. But I do want to touch on some of the AI stuff. Um, you know, Zuckerberg went on Joe Rogan's podcast and talked about how AI is basically going to be able to do like a mid-level software engineer role.
Hmm.
Um, OpenAI is now in talks with the government on they're basically going to have a PhD level AI assistant that can write programming, all kinds of fucking tasks to get like the human element out of things. So we don't need to go into it today, but I do want to talk about it on the next one because I have some thoughts specifically on engineering, how it'll impact. Um, but then I also want to just we can give our 2 cents on the humanity side of the AI revolution.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I can, cause I have just quite a few takes and thoughts as well. So.
Sure. Yeah. Um, so I think that would be a good one because we could easily go another 30, 45 minutes on that one.
Hmm.
Or, I mean, we could probably do a brief one in 5 minutes, but I feel like we've had a good podcast so far. So let's just shelve it for the next one.
Yeah, yeah, we can save that. But Chiefs Bills, what's going on playoffs this weekend?
Fuck the Chiefs. I think that's most of the nation's thoughts. I just don't know if the Bills are going to get it done.
it,
I hope so, man. I hope
it
so.
feels like they are, but it would be the most Chiefs thing to win tomorrow. It'd be so them.
I saw it was a meme of what Jim Nance and Tony Romo doing the call, and it was DeMar Hamlin picks the ball off to seal the game, and then Tony Romo comes in and he's like, "Oh no, Jim, we've got a penalty on the field." And it's like when you read it in Tony Romo's voice of how he says that shit all game long, and it's like that is how the Chiefs are gonna fucking win the game.
Oh no, Jim!
Yeah,
Jim!
exactly.
I
Yeah.
told you anything they should do here.
Oh. And I don't know. People hate on Jalen Hurts too. Um, I kind of hope he wins for that reason.
I think they're gonna smash them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the Washington team's gonna get fucked up. I just,
Saquon, like
dude,
Saquon's
Shake,
so
yeah, Shaquan. Their O line and D line is just so good.
dude. Their D line has freaks on it.
Washington's D line is not that good, so
No,
problem.
no. Washington is gonna have to outscore them for sure.
But
But
the Eagles
yeah,
also tweak though and lose.
1,000%.
Oh,
And it seems like it's a season of destiny for uh what I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Dan.
Washington's great. Yeah, Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also it could be a like, hey, this shit ain't easy that look, you know.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see. I hope it's Eagles Bills. I would enjoy that Super Bowl
Yeah,
a
that'd be
lot.
nice. I think the Bills. I kind of think. I don't know. I think the Bills are gonna win by 7, at least.
Mm.
I do. I just got this feel. I don't know. It's just Josh Allen. He's got that Steinfeld all up on him, so he's playing well. I just. I think he's gonna put on the cape.
I would love it. Love it.
Oh shit, dude. At the basketball game, you know how they do all the back flips. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the last two people went as a guy and a girl. The guy that's going, he's flipping, gets right in front of us. He like that doesn't rotate, lands on his head, gets KO'd. This like the stretcher comes out, the trainer and
No.
everybody, and it was like a scene. The game stopped for probably like 10, 15 minutes, and it was just like it was wild. I completely forgot about that shit.
Oh my god, dude. I miss Iowa basketball games. I love Iowa basketball games.
It was cool. Like it was just fun. It was a good time. I didn't get a cone, but I probably will next time.
Yeah, you gotta get Cone. The, just Carver. I just like the vibe. Like you just walk up on the level, everything. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like I just enjoy walking into the arena for sure.
Yeah. It does have a nice smell to it.
It's that fucking popcorn, dude.
Yep, you have that popcorn and just like yeah, it's just not nice. The band, you hear the bum 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 dun, 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 dun. Um, ugh.
Yeah,
What are you up to the rest of the night, my man?
might do a little bit of work. Got that's you're saying you're busy, and I'm like, dude, I couldn't feel that anymore. It's been got a lot of cool projects going on. I put out a shit ton of proposals the last 3 or 4 months. So if those start coming in, like we're like we have our revenue target, right? Our proposal volume each month has been like 3 months over the last like 4 months has been 3 months of our kind of just bare minimum revenue that we're shooting for.
Hey,
So if those contracts start coming in, people start getting a little comfortable after the presidential swing. If rates start dropping at all, like yeah, we're gonna be having a good year.
oh
Gonna
yeah.
have a good year.
Mm. And one thing I wanted to mention too on being busy is going back to the four pillars of life, health, wealth, love, and happiness. Was kind of unbalanced this last week, and I could feel it a little bit. Like just been working a lot on the computer, and I like felt like me and Katrina haven't been hanging out as much. I mean, she was getting sick, so she's been in bed more, but could still just be like, damn, we haven't been spending as much time together. And it's just one of those things where it's like, oh shit, I gotta like reset set the scales. And it's interesting too because the whole time I'm going extra hard, like grinding, just working, thinking of things that we could do in the future. But it's like, oh shit, I'm almost neglecting like the right here and now with too much focus on the future, and it's just the balancing game, which is interesting. But I'm just glad that I just caught that. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's easy to fall in that slump, and it's honestly okay in short spurts, right?
Hmm.
If both of you guys are on the same page and you're communicating about it, right? It's like, hey,
Key.
we gotta grind. I've done it in the past where next month it's gonna be like we're busy this month, but next month things will kind of settle in. 3 months later, it's like I'm still fucking going gangbusters, right? And that's where Ash is pretty good about, hey, we kind of need to pump the brakes, and she's busy too, and then we got the kids, and so we have to we schedule at least like one date day a month where it's like at a bare minimum we're at least going out for 6 to 8 hours, just us on the weekend, and we can do whatever, right? Talk or whatever. And because she goes to bed pretty early, and then both of us kind of get up early, but we're doing our workouts and stuff in the morning if we're up early. And so, yeah, we're just not, it's like, hey, sorry for an hour and a half today, you know?
Hmm.
And it gets, dude, it's hard. It puts a strain on your relationships for sure. It's far easier for me to block it out than for her. Like, I don't even fucking realize it half the time until you just like wake up and you're like, it's Friday. I feel like I haven't even talked to you,
Yep.
dude. It's hard, but it's okay to go through periods like that. I think both of us know you're never fully balanced, right? It's that tip into the scale
Hmm.
and right siding the ship before it's too late. I was reading a book, uh, Scalable, by I think his name's Ryan Dries, and in there he's got a story about it, how he's building his business for the family, right? Makes sense. Like, I'm building a better life for us in the future, right?
Hmm.
But it's easy to slip into the point of where it's too much. So, like, his wife came to him, they got kids, and she's like, I want you to pursue your dreams. I'm not going to tell you to stop, but you can't say that you're doing it for us anymore, you know? And
Hmm.
it's like, dude, I felt that because, like, your kids don't give a shit.
Yeah, right.
They want you home,
Mm.
right? They may understand later in life and all this, sure, but like if you're not trying to actively be a participant in their lives and you're just trying to build for their future lives, that's no good.
Mm.
Like Frankie, her birthday was Monday and MLK Day. Some people have it off. I don't. Um, and so I worked for like 2 hours in the morning. Everybody's kind of starting to wake up. And then we just hung out. We went to a movie. We went and saw Moana 2, did that with her. And then I had a site visit that I had to go to. And then that was like a couple hours. And then I went home. Right. So it's like I made sure on her birthday, she wanted to go see Moana 2. It's like, I'm there. No question. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like, so doing that kind of stuff where you're going to their activities, you're doing stuff that's important. Today, Ash and I, like, I got back from the mountains at like 2:30. I had some work stuff I probably could have got done,
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, "Hey, I'm wrapping up at this school over by home at like 2:45." I was like, "Cool, just come by the house." We just hung out before we went to go get the kids at like 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just for like that hour. It's like just doing those little things to help yourself out makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I
But
just I'm glad I got that in, and was writing some notes for next week, so I got some things to talk about as well, and one will probably take up at least probably 15 minutes ED to could segue too, so I'm excited to talk about that. And,
sure. I was gonna mix in a little bit of I've been battling trying to get insurance coverage for this year set up for the business and maybe some more like hard topics like that. I've been talking with my attorney on setting up, make sure we're structuring like our personal assets and the business assets and separating things for safety, but also the future. Um, and then also talking about this new insulation deal that I'm working on for that business, trying to get loans for that business. So like there's a lot of um I guess more granular business stuff we could kind of get into a little bit there as well too.
okay,
So
sounds good.
not not necessarily like a how to, like everybody puts out, but just talk through kind of some of the stuff I'm working through. So
No, that'd be nice. Yeah, and I would have some more. I didn't have a ton of notes for this week, kind of slack, but I will for next week. Just I feel like around the 40-minute mark, if I don't have notes, I noticed. I noticed. I'll say.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I noted that. Now I will have notes that are better to just yeah. So we'll be good for next week too.
No, I'm the same way. I didn't have a ton of notes for this week, but we kind of flowed into one, and I think we did
Yeah.
did some good stuff there. So it's good. I
Mm.
enjoyed it. I learned. I got better today.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm just about to put this stuff back a little bit down here. Then probably go work on just some notes for the interview with Maddie. Read for a bit. Then watch the series finale of What If. Then go to bed.
Right
And
on, brother.
then get this uploaded tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
I
All right.
love it.
I'll talk to you soon, my man.
You too. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah,